All right, you are welcome once again to Football Mania. Today we are going to talk about Hakimi's transfer to Chelsea. It's rumbling on at the moment. A lot of people are talking, French media saying that PSG are currently in the lead for his signature. We do not know what the real story is, but what I can tell you is there is more to it. There is more to it than what we are seeing or what we are getting as feedback at the moment. So we are going to look at it. So what is actually going on? French sources, French media a couple of days ago said that Hakimi has made up his mind that he's interested in going to PSG. He has made PSG his preferred destination. Now I started thinking, cracking my head, what is this guy thinking? You know, how can you just say that PSG is better than Chelsea, you know, for your career, because PSG doesn't even play three at the back. We play three at the back, and Chelsea are currently European champions, and London is a wonderful city. Well, the reason they gave out there in France was that his wife actually preferred to live in Paris, France, to London, England. Now, another thing is, basically they didn't say this, but it looks like maybe PSG are offering Hakimi a better package in terms of personal terms, because according to them, they have agreed personal terms already with Hakimi. So I go back to Margaret's report on Transfer Window podcast.
Chelsea are another club who are currently engaged in attempts to bring several players to the club in order to mount a challenge for the Premier League title next season, having just won the Champions League under Thomas Tuchel's first 6 months in charge. Achraf Hakimi, the Inter Milan fullback, is high on that list. A proposed swap deal involving Emerson is certainly part of that deal. But contrary to reports widely that it's because the deal's not been done because Chelsea refused to pay the full €65 million asking price, we understand that's not the case. That the reason, in fact, is twofold. And one is that Inter are very, very keen on taking Andreas Christensen as well as Emerson to the San Siro. However, Tuchel has actually been pleasantly surprised by Christensen's form and has grown to like him and believes he's played well in Euro 2020 as well. So is kind of not really that keen to dispose of Christensen. Emerson, however, on the other hand, has made a total of 15 appearances in his 3 years since he signed for Chelsea in 2018. And the second reason this deal's being held up is because Emerson wants the full year remaining of his contract, which runs out next summer, paid 100%. Now, normally, when a player doesn't ask for a transfer and wants to leave a club, the rule of thumb is that you will be compensated to the tune of around 70 to 80% of the contract. Sometimes it's lower, but usually doesn't go above 80%. Of course, Emerson wants 100%. He hasn't given a reason for that. I'd say having earned what he's earned in 3 years for 15 games, that's good work if you can get it. But that is the other reason why that deal is being held up.
All right, welcome back. From my point of view, I think what is holding this transfer that much is the fact that Chelsea are trying to include a player, and when you are trying to include a player, you have to get go ahead from the player in question, because the player in question has to agree terms with Chelsea and also with his potential new club. Now, talking about players who are likely to be part of the deal, Margaret mentioned Emerson, and then most Italian media are saying Alonso. Now, between Emerson and Alonso, I think Inter Milan are more interested in Alonso than Emerson. Emerson is also being linked with a move to Napoli, also in Serie A. I think this is the major stumbling block. Once they can get it sorted with the player that is going to be part of the deal, the whole thing will move a little bit faster. Now, going back to Paris Saint-Germain and PSG. Now, if they are saying that PSG has agreed terms with Hakimi and they are willing to pay the money Inter Milan are asking for, then what's holding the deal? Because they don't have any player to include in the contract. So if that is the case, then the deal is done. But at the moment it's not done. So which means I think that something is fishy inside, and just like I explained, I think Chelsea are currently leading the race, and that's why the deal, is not yet completed, because they are still going to deal with the player that is going the other way, like I explained earlier. To be able to convince myself that my theory is actually right, I sent a text across to one of the most reliable guys out there in terms of transfer market, and he said this. I'm not going to disclose the sources' names because of contractual issues, so that's the way I keep it. That's what I agree to do all the time when I talk to him. What I picked up from what he said is nothing much is going on at the moment. Chelsea are still in the race and have very good chances of getting the deal done. Forget about what they are saying in France. They will always be biased about PSG in France. So I think that Chelsea are still very, very much in the race. If what they are saying in France is actually true, then the deal should already be wrapped up by now. But it's still dead end from both sides. No recent reports from the English media or the Italian media. And I think I've come to the perfect conclusion that the deal is still there and Chelsea are still working. And Inter Milan are very interested in what Chelsea are offering, and the player in question that is going to go the other way around is the only thing holding the deal to go through. Once that is sorted, I think Hakimi will have no issues agreeing personal terms with Chelsea, and his wife will actually love to live in London. All right, if you love the show, you know what to do. Just press the like button, the notification button, and then subscribe if you haven't done so. See you next time.